talk now. This MMA, what we talking about? Yeah, you tuned into the pod now. Gonna be hard for you to stop now. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in.
Welcome back to another episode of Caged In. I'm your host, Chris DiCarlo. Today we got a very special guest making his debut on the show. It is Jake the Hitman Hixenbaugh. How we doing today, my man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I know you got a big fight coming up at Cage Titan 70. I know we got a little bit of an opponent change, so we'll touch on that a little bit later. But it's going down March 22nd, Plymouth Memorial Hall in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Are you excited to get back in the cage, man? I know it's been a little bit for you. First fight of 2025. How we feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm really excited to get back in the cage. It's my favorite thing to do is fight. It sucks dealing with injuries a lot. I wasn't able to fight too much last year. I was only able to fight twice due to some injuries, but that's all right. Looking for like more of an active year this year. I'm excited for that, and as long as I'm healthy, in my camps and stuff, we'll have a good time with that.
Cool, man. Definitely looking forward to that. Since this is your first time on the show, I do want to dive into your background a little bit, get to know you a little bit better as a person outside of the cage, man. So where were you born and raised, and what was growing up kind of like for you?
So I was born and raised in Bergen, New York. It's like a little town right outside of Rochester. Small high school. We graduated 83 kids in my grade. So I know everybody in my small town. But for like a really small school, we had like a really good wrestling team.
Nice.
And we would wrestle like all year round, and I've been wrestling since I was like 4 years old. So I've been around like the individual sports since I started. I played like a little football. That was kind of my secondary sport too, but mainly wrestling. Like both of my brothers wrestled. It was just kind of what I've always known, and it just kind of like as I got older, I kind of like started watching UFC and stuff, which got me into MMA.
There you go. And when did you, get introduced to the sport and to the sense of like you wanted to go into the gym for the first time, you wanted to like chase this dream to be a mixed martial artist? When did that kind of start for you, and how was it, the first time getting into the gym and training for MMA?
So like growing up, we always used to go to this one tournament. It was at a JUCO school on Trip. It's Niagara County Community College, Niagara Falls. So it's like it's where Rashad Evans used to go to college, and I always used to see his picture up on the wall. So that's what actually I looked him up, started watching his fights since day one. He's actually my favorite ever fighter.
Nice.
He got me into the sport, and then I just have always loved it. My best friend told me, like, it was my senior year. I've been friends with this kid since we were 1 year old. We've been pretty inseparable. He has always loved UFC and stuff. He was a huge Matt Hughes fan growing up.
Nice.
And he got me into this. There was a gym that opened up. Actually, it's Jacob Bohn's gym. Opened up 10 minutes from my house, and I was still wrestling. It was my senior year of high school, and he had started going there right at the like beginning of my senior year of wrestling. So he told me to get into it as soon as it was done. As soon as I lost the supers and stuff, or like the whole sectional thing, I had started training. I trained like 2 days, and then I just went into a jiu-jitsu tournament, and I ended up winning the tournament, and I just like kind of liked it. I didn't come in for like a month after that. For some reason, I just school and stuff, and I just kind of got sidetracked as a high school kid. And then Jake actually got my number somehow and just texted me, and it was funny because he has like a whole different area code because he's from a different part of New York. And he goes, "Hey, where you been?" And I'm like, "Who the heck is this 315 number coming at me?" And then finally he's like, "Jake Bohn, come back in. You have a lot of potential." And ever since then, like I've always kind of been super consistent with this stuff. I've never really taken like a break or anything. I've just always loved it. I wasn't like the best growing up, like when it comes to like even at wrestling, I wasn't the best wrestler. I didn't have like the most like off the bat talent, but I just worked hard and I just put my head down and worked, and that's why I've become so close to Jake too. I've been so consistent with him. And then we found like and then we started training with John Piersma too. He started coming into spar before he went amateur too. It was like right around we made our amateur debuts like around the same time. And then like we've always fought on the same amateur cards growing up. So that's how I've gotten like close to him in terms of like training with him all the time, all throughout these years. And just all the other Rochester guys, like just expanding with like synthesis and stuff.
Hell yeah, man. Definitely sounds like a cool introduction to the sport. You definitely got some good people around you as well, man. Definitely a lot of talented guys for sure. So for the people that haven't seen you fight before, man, how would you describe your fight style to them?
Well, I'm definitely a finisher. Every single fight is a finish. You're expecting something crazy. I mean, all three of my wins are by submission, so I guess I'm a submission specialist, but I like to strike too. So I'd say I'm a freestyle fighter. You got to get ready for anything. You just got to get ready for like a fast-paced, you know, fight and get ready for a finish.
There you go, man. And your nickname, you go by the Hitman. Where'd the nickname come from? What's the origin story there?
It's funny. So the nickname actually came from Jake at the time. I was like young 18, 19-year-old, and there was this like kind of disrespectful kid that like he had fought amateur a lot. He's just like a guy that's bounced around a lot of gyms. And like Bohn didn't give him his blue belt at the time, so like it became some sort of huge thing, like some sort of beef between him, and he started talking a lot of shit to Bohn. And Bohn is a coach. He's not gonna just go beat an amateur fighter's ass. He's like,
Yeah.
and so like next sparring session, I did that. And then like after that, he was like, "You're kind of like my hitman. I'm just gonna kind of, if there's ever anybody that comes in the gym, I'm just gonna kind of point at him and you take him out for me." So that's kind of where I got my nickname from. I haven't really had to do that too many times. Usually everybody's really cool that we train with out here, but that happened once or
Yeah,
twice.
man. That's quite the story, and that's quite a name to get a nickname as lethal as the Hitman, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, man. Let's talk about your gym, man. You mentioned Jake Bohn quite a few times leading up to this, man. Let's talk about Bohn MMA. You train at Bohn MMA under head coach Jacob Bohn. What's the vibe of the gym like, man, and what's the culture that you guys are building over there?
So it's always been a freaking doghouse over there. Every time you go in there, you got to get ready for scrappy dudes every single time. If you've ever watched Jake Bohn fight, it's kind of just how that gym is. You know what I mean? It's gritty. I also train. We also travel out and train at Synthesis too. That's just a bunch of freaking super talented guys and stuff. I spar out there too. But I would say Bones MMA is like we're definitely really close. We're definitely a family. I've known a lot of these guys from before I ever did MMA because it's kind of close to my house.
Mm-hmm.
We all kind of got into it. There's a good amount of people from my hometown actually that have gotten into it, have trained and stuff. And like everybody around here, they get it well mentally. Like I don't know, there's some fighters you come across and they don't really like they don't get it. They don't get the game. They don't get the mechanics and all that, like how to properly like explode or the proper technique on scrambling and all this stuff. Like the people here, they get it, and everybody knows how to wrestle too, so that's awesome.
Yeah, man. Who are some of your main training partners? Like when it comes down to fight camp, who's getting you ready the most consistently in the gym?
Definitely Jake. We work the most together. I've been working more and more each camp with I don't know if you know Kevin Carrier.
Mhm.
He's he's a fucking beast. He he's been he's been a, like he's been training for a lot longer than me. I remember before when I was just like an amateur, just like looking up to him, and now we're fighting on the same cards and stuff. He's actually fighting over in LFA,
Nice.
against the Nostos guy, Kyle Pufall,
Hmm.
another New England name. Um, but yeah, so him, just a lot of the synthesis guys over there. So there's a lot to really name, but like my other coach, Jamie, too, um, up at Shinobi. I work a lot of grappling up there with those guys. Um, just like the head bearing gym, like that we are an affiliate of. But yeah, no, I would say definitely Jake's my main training partner when it comes to a lot of this stuff. We click on a lot of different things. I help him level up on stuff. He helps me level up on everything, and it's a good vibe,
Nice,
good
man.
connection.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that. Let's dive into your fight history a little bit, man. You've gotten some bigger opportunities on some of the bigger regional MMA cards like LFA and CFFC. Unfortunately, those ones haven't gone your way. But what have you learned most from those opportunities that you've gotten over there?
Um, I mean, it sucks that those didn't go my way. They were both really, really tough dudes. Combined record of like 16-0 or something like that. I don't even know, 15-0.
Hmm.
Those, it really just like taught me to be a lot more patient, pick my shots, and not really rush stuff. I was both in both of those fights. I was in a spot where I could win the fight or even finish the fight. You know, and I just I didn't at the time, and you gotta just like capitalize on those mistakes. I'm not letting that type of stuff happen anymore, and I really feel like after this last one, I really feel like I leveled up, in both physically and mentally.
Yeah, man. Love to hear that. Let's talk about you had a 2-fight series over at Cage Titans with Aaron Hughes. Obviously, the first fight, ends in a controversial elbow to the back of the head. You win the second one via arm triangle. When you look back on that time, man, what were your feelings about the first fight and how did it feel to end, the quote unquote rivalry with the win?
Yeah, man. I was just like that whole thing was stupid to me because like I don't know. I got elbowed in the back of the head 12 times. I couldn't even see for like 5 minutes or like a couple minutes. I don't even know how long.
Hmm.
I thought I was talking to a whole different person when I'm sitting down and then I'm talking to the doctor because everything was like white, but I was
Hmm.
like still like conscious in a way, but I couldn't fucking see.
Right.
So like I don't know. I get back and then everybody's talking shit. I'm just like it was frustrating, obviously, and then it took a little while to get that fight lined up again, and then finally we get it lined up, and actually in between that was my CFFC fight against Mansour Kara. That one didn't go my way. It just was like the dates thing, and like obviously like they're gonna use that. He's gonna use that and like talk a bunch of shit. So like me being young, I'm just like listening to him talk shit. And I'm kind of getting pissed off, but it's at the same time I wasn't like too pissed off because I kind of just like I just know how some of these guys are. They'll talk a lot of shit, and then they're like a lot different in person. Um, but I just knew that like he was gonna be like that. So then like we finally get to the fight, and I kind of went the way that we thought it was gonna go, just break him and cut him up, and then choke him out, and we went for that was like the original game plan, just
Hmm.
to basically do all that. It worked like that. and he was respectful after and we were respectful. It was good to get that. I never really saw it as like a rivalry. I never really hated the guy. The people, my people hated him more than I don't really care. Like, I don't really know these guys,
Right.
Unless like I know you, or whatever. If you talk a bunch of shit, it's gonna piss me off. But like, yeah, it just was. I didn't really ever see him as too much of like a. I didn't hate him too much for what he was saying. I know what he was doing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get that 100%. Let's talk about Cage Titans 64. You had a last minute cancellation versus Miguel Sevison. It kind of caught everybody by surprise because they announced it during the card. What kind of happened there, man? And is that a fight that you would like to rebook in the future because you guys
Yeah,
are
dude.
now on the same card at 70?
Yeah, dude, that fucking sucked. So I don't know, while we were in warm-ups and I freaking popped my knee throwing a knee, and then like I sat back, I sat down, and it just like popped worse, and then I don't know, just a bunch of fluid got into it. It just blew up. I was out for a while after. That's actually the reason why I didn't fight until I think October. It sucks. That felt worse than a loss because like I really love fighting, and especially like I like fighting in March because it's my birth month too. It's my
Yeah.
favorite month. So, plus he's a tough dude, and I don't know. I hated going out like that. A bunch of people bought tickets. That really sucked. I obviously want that one back. I obviously would love to. I actually asked for that one for this card, but he was fighting Tom Santos because I guess like that fight fell off or something on the January card or something. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm sure we'll get at it before that year ends.
Yeah, you're both on this, Cage Titan 70 card. You both get out of here with a win. That seems like a pretty reasonable matchup to make next, I'd say.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome, man.
It
Let's
would
dive
be
in.
great.
Yeah, it'd be a fun one, man. You guys are both very exciting fighters. Definitely all
Mhm.
action. So I think that's one the fans would love.
Yep.
Let's get into Cage Titan 70 a little bit, man. You're going in there March 22nd, Plymouth Memorial Hall. Your original opponent, Dion Rubio, unfortunately has pulled out with an injury. Can you update me on that situation, man? What do you know about that? And you're still going to be fighting on that card as well, right?
Yeah. So it's gonna be he pulled out with a broken hand last week. I guess so, and he said that to. I mean, not he, but Mike Pulvier said that to me, and then I was actually at a grappling card this weekend, and a bunch of his teammates actually said the same thing. So I've seen Dion Rubio fight. I know like who he is. I know like he didn't pull out for no reason. He's not a fucking pussy. He's a fucking dog. He's not like a lot of these guys out here. No offense to a lot of people, but like he fights tough dudes all the time. Hence why he's 3-2 right now. It's just like it was gonna be a dog fight. That's what it was gonna be. I think he's a lot better than a lot of the names that a lot of people see in the top of the Cage Titans thing. So it would have been a good win, but that sucks. But we got somebody else, new fight lined up now. I'm thinking, hopefully like because he's kind of up and down. The new opponent. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say the name or anything because like he's been so like up and down. It's like he's in and then like he's taking a while to answer. It's just like, but yeah, there's a lot more incentive on this fight. It'll be fun to really just smoke this guy.
Yeah, man. Obviously, nothing is completely official yet with this fight that could potentially be happening for you on March 22nd. So don't have to say the name or anything, and just in case opponents do change or whatever. So don't have to, say the name or make anything, any public statements on that. But going into March 22nd, man, what are you most excited to show? If from like your improvements from the last time we've seen you, man, what can we expect to see from Jake Hixenbaugh when you step back in that cage on March 22nd?
Just expect to see a better me all around. Expect to see a faster, more explosive, more physical me. Expect to see a smarter me, a patient me. Just expect to see a finish. I'm gonna take this guy out. I really, really hope that this guy takes this fight. I really hope he's just trying to do some sort of whatever mind game that this fucker's trying to do. I just hope he fights me so I can just show him and everybody where I'm at out here, because he's supposed to be one of the names out here. So just take him out and start the year off good,
For sure, man. You've been known as someone that likes to come into enemy territory and silence the home crowd. What is it about being the quote unquote bad guy that gets you excited to fight in someone's backyard?
I've always been liked my entire life by everybody. I was like voted the funniest in the class. I just have always been just a likable, funny kid. So it just feels really cool being the guy that people boo going in, because it's just like it's not even like I'm playing at some sort of persona. I'm just fighting the guys that everybody loves. So it's like then they talk shit and it gets me all pissed off, so I start talking shit. I just happen to fight the shit talkers out there so far. So it makes me have to do that. But yeah, no, it just feels really cool. Like I've always wanted to be booed, kind of just coming in out. Obviously, it's really, really fun being the hometown guy, but we never have shows out here, so you just gotta kind of accept it when you're gonna be the away team. You just gotta kind of love that part of it.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's probably a different mentality going into a fight when you are the road team as well. You gotta kind of got to tap into a different
Yep.
place mentally.
Yep. You don't yeah. Not a lot of people have your back, and you just gotta kind of think about it like that. Backs against the wall. You just gotta kind of block every single thing out. They want you to lose anyways, so you might as well block them out. And then usually after you win, half those people love you anyways. So
That's true, man. You got to turn the hometown crowd into your own hometown crowd. I've seen a lot of people do it in Plymouth too, man. Like you've gained quite a few fans over in the Memorial Hall. Like guys like Joe Penafiel, who came all the way from Florida. He's turned the crowd in his favor. Everybody in Plymouth, a lot of people in Plymouth love him too. So yeah, it is very, very possible to go in there and build your own crowd, even if it's the away crowd.
Yep. Yeah, no, I definitely, I feel like I have built a little bit of a crowd. I feel like against certain people that I'll definitely get a good amount of boos from still. Like if I were to fight like Miguel or one of those guys, this next guy I'm fighting, I still probably get some cheers because I know there's a good amount of people that want to see him get his head knocked off too. So.
Yeah, man. Definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully everything comes together, because I think that one's going to be a lot of fun if that one becomes official, man. So hopefully fingers crossed for you guys. And if not, man, hopefully they find another opponent for you so you get to stay on the card and fight on the 22nd, because it's been a little bit and I know people would like to see you back in the cage.
Yeah, dude, I really want to fight. It's a special weekend for me, especially because March 23rd is my birthday, so midnight that night it's gonna be my birthday. So give myself a birthday present with a good finish over here with whoever I end up fighting. But yeah, it'll be a good time at the bar after too. So
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Jake, I appreciate you coming on the show, man, taking some time to talk to me. Before I let you go, where can the people come find you on social media, and anybody you want to shout out or thank before I let you go?
first of all, Instagram, it's Hixenbaugh Jake. It's hard to spell my last name. H-I, yeah, I don't know. It'll be down in here somewhere.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description. Everybody can find you.
Yeah, so that's my Instagram right there. Follow me there. That's where most of my content is. Also, thank you to all my sponsors for helping me out with this camp. You guys do really do a lot for me with funding, coaches, camp, management, all that, everything. Just to travel, everything. I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. Thank you guys. You guys will all be getting your presence after my fight too. So thank you. And also to everybody that's going to be tuning in and watching, and my teammates that are going, let's fucking do this shit. We've been waiting for me to come back, and time to put on a show.
Hell yeah, man. Jake, I appreciate the time once again, brother. Thanks for coming on. I'll talk to you soon.
Down for the count and he can't even talk now. This MMA, what we talking about? Yeah, you tuned into the pod now. Gonna be hard for you to stop now. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in. Yeah, we caged in.